What is up, guys? Back here for another video. Today, we're going to be talking about one of the craziest regionals in all of the college baseball tournament starting on Friday. And that is, of course, the Lincoln Regional hosted by the Nebraska Cornhuskers. So many fun teams in this regional. Of course, Nebraska being able to host their own regional, such a cool story, such a cool idea. I can't wait for it to happen. Ole Miss is the two seed, of course, an SEC powerhouse who's done a really good job this year. We also have Arizona State, an underrated Big 12 team, and then South Dakota State slotting in at that four spot. Let's talk about it. There's so much to get into. How can I not start with this Nebraska team who gets to host, I believe, their first ever regional in Lincoln? It's such a cool story. They're 42 and 15 on the year. They've had a really solid year in the Big Ten, going 23 and 7 in conference play. They have series wins over USC, which is big. Michigan as well, who just missed out on the tournament. They did lose a series to Auburn, though, as well as Oregon. They've they haven't gotten a bad, series loss in the ones that they've gone that are wins. Really, really impressive. Nebraska's had a really impressive year. They're really hot too as of now, which is really important at this time of year. And they're really streaky when it comes to their wins. If they need to pile up 5, 6 wins in a row, it's definitely something they can do. And this is definitely the time that you need to do that. They also have a quality hitter in Dylan Carey, as well as a quality pitcher in Carson Jace. So many good players on both sides of the ball. Such a good team, super hot at the right moment. Nebraska can definitely win this regional. Next up, we got the Ole Miss Rebels, who finished 36 and 21 in a really tough SEC conference. Of course, they ended up going 15 and 15, sitting at 500 in the tough conference. They've gotten some pretty decent wins. They took down Missouri State in the non-conference, as well as Kentucky, Florida, Tennessee, and Texas A&M in conference play. That A&M one, that Florida one, really stand out to me as two really, really big series wins. However, they've also lost a ton. They lost to Texas, which is not a big deal. Alabama, same thing, not too bad. Georgia, whatever. Arkansas, whatever. Mississippi State, whatever. I mean, they played so many tough teams. Like, it feels like none of their losses have even been like bad losses in a way. So yeah, this Ole Miss team has a lot of intrigue, and they definitely could do well. They're the only kind of things that I don't like about them. The fact that they just lost to Missouri in the conference tournament on day one is that's really bad. I'm not gonna lie, and their offense just hasn't been good this year, and unfortunately, I do think that's gonna take a toll on them a little bit. The Rebels do have a really good hitting duo, though, of Judd Uttermark as well as Tristan Becerra, who've done a really good job, have a lot of pop, good with contact as well, and they've certainly helped out this Ole Miss team a lot this year. Next up is the Arizona State Sun Devils, an underrated Big 12 team who went 37 and 19 overall, 19 and 11 in a Big 12 conference that's a little bit underrated. When you talk about, 19 wins in a conference like that, I think it means a little bit more than people really expect, considering how good some of these teams have been this year. They got a series win over TCU as well as UCF. UCF's in the tournament. And they also beat St. John's, who's a four seed, who won their conference tournament. But they also have to do a couple losses. Oklahoma State, who I believe is a two seed, and West Virginia, who is a regional host. Not too bad of losses, but certainly not you would have hoped to beat at least one of those teams, but it's not a huge deal. What I absolutely love about this Arizona State team is their defensive abilities. They have Cole Carlton, who has 124 strikeouts on the year as their ace pitcher. That's really, really impressive, especially in a power conference. On offense, they have a little bit of pop as well. While their overall team offense isn't fantastic, they have Landon Harrison, 28 home runs and 79 RBIs. Unbelievable numbers that they've been putting up, or that he's been putting up. And it just shows, when you have, some of these good players, it goes a long way, especially in this time of year. If you have an ace that's really going to lock things up, it's definitely going to help you out, especially, if you have hitters as well, it's definitely going to help them out a lot this year. Now, the big outlier in this conference is South Dakota State, a team that went 24 and 31 overall last season. They went 12 and 15 in conference play. They haven't been too good, haven't really beaten anybody at all. They haven't really been hot throughout the year, which isn't definitely kind of shies me away a little bit. They also had 9 losses in a row at some point, which is kind of crazy for a team that's making the tournament. But I mean, if you win your conference tournament, can't really say anything about it. They do have a couple bad series losses though against Omaha, Oral Roberts, Central Arkansas, and UTSA. And then their star player is Luke Luxey, who's done a really good job this year. And I do think he can help out the South Dakota State team come regional time. Now, who's actually going to win this regional this year. I think that Nebraska being at home in Lincoln, it's obviously a huge story that they're able to do that. I think they're going to go out and I think they're going to win their own regional and qualify for the super regional. I think a close second is going to be Arizona State. I think Ole Miss will also be right up in there. All these teams are very competitive, but unfortunately, well, not unfortunately for Nebraska, but unfortunately for the rest, I do think that the Huskers are just a little bit better than these other teams. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening and make sure to tune in for more of these regional predictions before things get started on Friday.